Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to my hobby and my channel. As I had a lot of fun in my last review, which was about G-Shock models, I wanted to share today a video I have been looking for on YouTube and have not found it yet. So this is why I decided to make it myself. You can see here we're talking about Breitling today. It's about two limited editions I recently have acquired very happily. Here on the left, this is the re-edition of a few years ago, the Breitling Avi 765 of 1953. This strap is a new strap that I got. It's a very beautiful strap. It fits a lot better in my opinion than the original strap that comes with it, which I will show later, some strap combinations. But like this, it looks like the original from 1953, which you can see on the Breitling site in history. And there's a quite interesting read you can do about the aviation, also Navitimer and etc. Collections. And then this one, also I put it on another strap because I prefer this looking strap, this racing, vintage racing strap. I think suits this watch a lot better than the standard one you can find online with Breitling. And this is actually very new, newly released. This is the Breitling Avi 765 Co-Pilot, I call it, from 1964. So this is also known as the Killy for everybody who is familiar with Breitling and vintage Breitling. And on this strap, I must really say it looks amazing. It looks like from the 60s. And that's why I put it here on this strap. Both straps are from GLC straps, which I only found on the weekend and ordered them. So you can see here GLC, it's not very well visible, but they make really cool straps. I was quite impressed by these and couldn't find this kind of strap anywhere. You can see the logo. So yeah, and I wanted to show anybody who's thinking about, who already has this model, to getting also this, and if it's worth having both in the collection. So in my opinion, yes, it is. Of course, that's why I got it. But I will go into some details, what I have not seen yet in other videos, and therefore I will touch on those topics. I'll try to keep, again, the video below 10 minutes. So I will start with the 1953 edition. Something you will see here, let's see if we get it right. You can see this screw here. It is just on the side of the 6, so it's not centralized. The same is here by the 2, if you can see it. It's also not centralized. It's on the top side of the 2. And then on the 10, I think, here we go. It is also on the 10. And look where the 10 is. So it's where the 1 is. So it's not centralized. I researched this and also asked Watchfred, who is the biggest, I think, Breitling collector in the world. And he told me that this is correctly from 1953. And if you look on some pictures, there's very few of these models, vintage models, still available, and it's actually correct. So at first it was for me a little bit strange that it's not centralized, but it's correct to the time of 1953. Yeah, so that's the main thing that I realized after acquiring it, and nobody talks about this in any written form or video. So yeah, you should know this. If this is things that annoy you, then it's difficult to ignore it. But for me, I tend to get annoyed by these kind of things, but I have not cared anymore because I know it's historically correct. I will quickly take it off and put it on my wrist so that you see how this looks on an about 19 centimeter wrist. Let's see that the watch doesn't fall off, which it almost did. And you can see this is a suede, a yeah, a light gray suede. And I think personally this is as vintage as it gets, but new, and I'm really happy with it. And I can show you some other strap combinations I do with this watch later on. Maybe I'll do a video just about straps for these two watches, as these are really strap monsters in my opinion. So here's the 1953. All the other specs, I would say, you can see them online or in some reviews. There have been some very good reviews of the 1953. Not of this yet. I didn't see a review yet. So if people are interested, let me know. I can make a video only about this one. This is quite limited. It's limited to 164. The number should be provided somewhere. So, once again, what I didn't realize when I bought this watch was that this is bigger than the other two. So people who are familiar with vintage Breitling know this, but I was familiar, but not that familiar. So you can see the one at the 3 o'clock is bigger dimension than the other two. But again here, it's historically correct and it's something different and I really like it. And on this strap, I mean, I am very impressed. I really like it. I don't have any other vintage watches in my collection. These are the only two. And I got them on the same day, but it was by accident. As I ordered this online several months ago when it was released. And it was delivered on the same day that I opened this one, which I had from my authorized dealer, who is, in my opinion, the best dealer that at least I have known. But I'll go into that some other time. So I will carry on with this watch now. Apart from the difference in size, this is very, very clean watch. It's as vintage and modern as it gets. This combination of modern and vintage is something I've not seen, compared especially to this one, which is really vintage looking also because of the loom and everything. But this looks kind of modern, but it is also vintage. So that's why I believe both of them can be in one collection. I will put on this one also. It's a bit easier to put on. And this strap, as I said, I got it today, but I'm so impressed and satisfied with it that if you can see here, it's really nice. So, to keep the video fairly short, I will carry on and show you just a few straps that I quite like for this models. And you can see them here, I think, quite well. So something I like to do also on the 1964 model is kind of a pilot combination. But I will do some better shots later on in videos. And then also I like this one, which is similar to this, but it has the stitching color of these looms, which I also quite like. And yeah, and you can do a lot with this. So I will make some more videos about this later on and put them in also in this video. But overall, I think these two are different enough to have them in one collection. If you like vintage, but not the loom like it is here, but you want something vintage in your collection, this is one, my opinion, especially in Breitling, the best way you can go. I don't know how many are still available or not, but it's very limited with 164 pieces compared to this one with 1,953. Yeah. So yeah, this was my very brief review of these two watches. Let me know if you have something else you want to know about these watches, or you want a special review for one or the other. Also, I was thinking about comparing these two, or one of the two, to the modern Breitling. I have a Chronomat 42. Also there I could give a comparison. I like to make comparison in my video because individually the watches are, there's many videos on YouTube, but comparing certain watches with each other is something that somehow is not being done so much, and it always interests me a lot. I will put in some more videos at the end, which you will see, which will be about the straps. But thanks for watching until this point, and hope to see you next time. Okay, so here now are some strap combinations I will be showing for each of these models. So here I like this kind of as a racing strap, vintage, but it has a certain nylon, it is. And this is, I believe, from Zuludiver. So I will put these on. These have a quick, spring bars. And you will see it gives a whole other look to the watch compared to having the more vintage strap. Looks really sporty now, I think. It looks quite fresh. And also on the, you can see here, gives it a whole different kind of vibe. Putting a little bit more distance here, as the focus seems to be off. So that's one strap combination I use for this one. There is another one, which is this one, which is pretty much the same, but it doesn't have the racing holes here. Yeah, pretty much the same. And then this is a fabric again. This is a recycled fabric. I believe this is from also Zuludiver. See it here. And this has leather on the inside and fabric on the outside. And I really like this because it has just, black on black compared to this. Also black on black, but more vintage. And that's the last one I will show for this watch. You can see how quickly I can remove with these spring bars. Let me see if it's correct. Yes. There you go, the first one. And the second one. So again here, the watch looks completely different in my opinion. Put it quickly on my wrist so you can see how this looks. Again, a whole different vibe from this perspective now with this strap than before. And of course the original strap that comes with it, which I haven't shown because I don't wear it actually, is this one. It's also cool. It's quite nice. Really cool leather on the inside with yellow, but for me it's too busy compared to the dial. It doesn't quite fit the dial in my opinion. So yeah, these are the strap combinations for this one, the Breitling Avi 765 CP, what I call it, the co-pilot from 1963. So one strap I almost forgot to show was this one. And it's just, I think, also amazing. Again, now the watch looks a lot more vintage, and it could look like the actual model from 1964. And this has been the strap. I only have it since a couple of weeks because the watch itself already also is quite new. But this is the one I've been wearing the most because I don't know, I just like it that these colors are very matching to the dial, to the indices, and yeah, I quite like. It has something very similar to this, which is directly from Breitling, but only this and not all of these stitches. That's what I quite like about it. And this, believe it or not, is from also, it's from Watch Geeks, I think. Yeah. And that's where I order a lot of straps, including Zuludiver from them. All right, here it is again. And now I will show the other straps from the other watch. Okay, now I'm showing two strap combinations I also use for this one, the 1953 model. And you can see here, this is the vintage racing, a kind of leather strap with the stitching, which perfectly suits the dial colors here, of the indices. So this has been the one I wear most for this specific model, because I somehow connect these watches. I know they are pilot's watches, but I connect them also to racing and the 60s and 70s, or in this case the 50s. And that's why I wanted to get straps which kind of also show this. And here you can see that, in my opinion, it looks perfect for this watch. I don't know why Breitling is not offering more combinations for this. I mean, they are more focused on making watches and straps, of course, but yeah, it took me a lot of time to find these straps and good combinations. And if I would have had them as an option on Breitling, then it would have been easier, I think. But yeah, here you go. That's the one for the racing. And then I have one strap also I use for this one. You can see the spring bar, quick release. It works very, very well. And this is from Zuludiver. And this specific one is a fabric, and it changes the watch completely, in my opinion. As you can see here, it's vintage, but it has a kind of a modern touch now. And this is the second most strap I wear with it. This one, I got it, so this strap today actually, and I really like it. But it will be more if I really feel like a vintage vibe, which won't be very often, I think. This is from GLC straps. So there's no promotion or anything for these straps. It's just personal opinion and personal buying experience. So I'll put this, let me get this on my wrist. Once again, if anybody missed it, my wrist is about 19 centimeters of circumference. And you can see the watch fits very well. And the strap, with also the stitching matching these indices, it just looks really cool, in my opinion. I really like it. I tend to wear it more now in summer when it's warm. And I guess in winter I will wear this one a lot more. But I only have this watch now since a few weeks, so no winter experience yet. But I guess this will be a watch I wear a lot in the winter, as it's kind of I combine it with vintage. And here you can see probably one of my favorite watches at the moment in this combination, the 1964 model. I earlier in the video said 1963, but you guys know what I mean. So that's it with the last strap combinations. Thank you very much, and hope to see you again soon.